you'll say, well, Pastor Bor, but how do you know that you can apply the three characteristics of the presidential seal today back to biblical times? Well, the fact is that we're helped by archaeology at this point. You know, they've discovered tablets where ancient kings used to make treaties with other kings. And I want to share the interesting characteristics of these treaties or these covenants. Of course, first of all, it was a covenant between a great king and a lesser king. These covenants were written on tablets of clay. Interestingly enough, on the tablets, both sides were written. In other words, the same material that was written on the front of the tablet was written all over again on the back of the tablet. You say, now, why would they do that? Why would they write the same thing on the front and on the back? The reason why is because these tablets that have been unearthed, and I have pictures of many of them, by the way, what they would do while the tablet was still wet and the clay was soft, the great king who was making the covenant would take a great big seal and he would impress the seal right in the middle of the tablet. And of course, when he would impress the seal in the middle of the tablet, it would obliterate part of the writing on the tablet. So in order to be able to read the full covenant, all they would do is turn it to the other side. They could read the full covenant, but the side with the seal showed that it was authentic. Interesting. The seal was in the middle of the tablet. And I bet you can't guess what three characteristics were always in the seal. The name of the great king who was giving the covenant, his title, king, and the territory over which he governed. So this idea of three aspects of a seal does not come from the presidential seal of the United States. It comes from the period when the Ten Commandments were given. By the way, do you know that the Bible says that the Ten Commandments were also a covenant? Notice Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 13. So he declared to you his covenant, which he commanded you to perform, the 10 Commandments, and he wrote them on 2 tablets of stone. What was the covenant of God? God gave his covenant, which are what? The 10 Commandments. Where did he write them? It says here that he wrote them on what? On tablets of stone. See, it wasn't on clay. It was on stone, because the 10 Commandments are eternal like stone. They don't pass. They don't break up. They don't dissipate and disappear. By the way, on how many sides of the tablets were the 10 Commandments written? You know, many people don't realize this, but the 10 Commandments were written on both sides of the tablets, because they were written at the same time as the other covenants. Notice Exodus 32, 15 and 16. And Moses turned and went down from the mountain, and the 2 tablets of the testimony were in his hand. The tablets were written what? On both sides. On the one side and on the other were they written. Now the tablets were the work of God, and the writing was the writing of God engraved on the tablets. Question, where would you expect to find the seal in the tablets that were written on both sides? Where would you expect to find the seal? Right in the center of the tablet. Do you know which commandment is right in the center of the holy law of God, his covenant with man? It's the Sabbath commandment. And it's the only commandment that has the 3 characteristics. Let's read Exodus 20, verse 11. For in 6 days, the Lord, there's his name, the Lord made, there's his function. He made, he's the creator. The Lord made, now made what? What's his territory? Made the heavens and the earth, the sea, and all that is in them, and rested the 7th day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. So where is the seal of God to be found? It's to be found in the 4th commandment of the holy law of God. The commandment that has to do with the Sabbath, with the Creator, which is in contrast to worshiping the sun, or in principle on the day of the sun.